Good morning from Yummy BTV. Wishing you all well today. Sending loads of love to you as usual. And as promised from yesterday, part 2 of my old mate from way back in the day, down here in Yorkshire, Billy Burnside, starts today by talking about his time at Broadmoor Mental Institution. Tell us a bit, Bill, so the viewers know exactly, for those that do and those that don't, what Broadmoor is as an institution, how you got there, and start from where you went from to go there to Broadmoor.
Sure. It's a psychiatric mental hospital for the criminally insane. It's one of the 3 in the country. The other 2 have been Rampton and Ashworth.
Right.
They first started around 94, signing up to knock me off. They wanted rid of me. They'd had enough. I mean, I was, like yourself, bouncing block to block, attacking prison officers on a regular basis, smashing up my cell, shitting them up, protesting, just generally making a nuisance of myself. And governors and whatnot had had enough. You know, they wanted rid.
Sorry, Bill. So starting this is on 14 years sentence.
It is, yeah.
So you're halfway through.
No, I'm about 4 years through.
4 years through. Of absolute mayhem.
Yes.
From part 1 yesterday, we gather that you got that big sentence as a 19-year-old, really, before you was an adult.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So you know, as I said, that was happening. They first started the assessment. Writing me off in Frankland. Then I was bouncing block to block and seeing, various psychiatrists were sent from, to different institutions. But what the screws would do, they'd always come to the door, they'd wind me up, hold back me mail, show me mail there. Then I even had one prison officer rip it up. I've had them spit in my food. I even had a screw piss in my food in Bristol block. Actually piss in my food. Disgusting things that they do to people. And then obviously by the time the psychiatrist comes to my door, I'm irate, I'm going absolutely nuts, smashing up and threatening them and whatnot from behind the door. And with me, they're not able to say, you can't get through to this guy, he's complete psycho. And you're written off. The day I was going to Broadmoor, I was actually down your neck of the woods. I was in Scrubs on a lay down, and Scrooge said, "Pat, you guys, I'm going fucking nowhere." So
this is shortly. This must have been before Armley and not Durham, Armley and where was we down about?
Parkhurst.
No, not Park. That's when
this was after Armley and Durham.
Armley and Durham.
This was after Armley and Durham, before Parkhurst.
You ended up in Scrubs after I left you when we was in the block together down by
that's right.
Armley.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So then obviously screws come down in the riot gear.
Yeah.
Steaming. We've got to quickly wrap me up. And I was body belted.
Thrown in taken there?
Yeah, I was taken in a body belt at Broadmoor. Yeah. Thrown in the back of the van, the CatAs van.
Yeah.
And whisked to Broadmoor. And then I was driven straight into their seclusion, their solitary, what they call seclusion, called Norfolk House. Thrown in a cell there, and I was left by Broadmoor staff for 3 days in a body belt then.
So you actually, after those times when you were doing block to block like me for that period in the 90s, you left. So the build up from Scrubs, couldn't you challenge going there? Did you mind going there?
I minded very much. I knew I'd been totally and utterly set up, but yourself, Yami, once they sign them papers, you're fucked, mate.
So leaving Scrubs, man, what the daunting prospects and how you're feeling in that category, in a body belt.
I was totally down, mate. I was totally down. Really didn't want to go, because you don't know how things are, you don't know, really, your life is, I mean, you haven't got control of your own life in prison.
No.
But I mean, it's even worse, you go there.
My mates told me a bit about
Ovi. So
go on. Sorry.
I got there. Put me in one of their strip cells there.
Yeah.
Left me in the body belt for 3 days. Why they did that, I don't know.
Yes.
And then I was put up on one of the houses there, the induction house there at Broadmoor. Yeah.
Which is called. Do you remember the names of it?
I think it was Somerset. I'm not too sure. I can't remember.
It's not that important. But so the induction wing are all like a prison institution.
Yeah.
It's all newbies, or is there oldies on there and other?
A bit of mix and mash of both, but all newbies go into that.
Right.
Initially to begin with, you know, and I was sent there on assessment. I left 5.5 months in total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but once you got onto that the newbie, the induction, at Broadmoor, initial feelings of coming out.
It started going wrong. It started going wrong.
Staff like.
It started going wrong straight away. Food was good, everything like that, but you know, got into an argument with one patient there. It just, you know, it was just, one fucking leave me alone, mate. You know, just constantly, you know. So I was just trying to crack. I've hit him. He had his nose go across, but then the staff there come from nowhere, mate. I mean, they come out of the walls and the floors, honestly, they really do. Dived on me, wrapped me up, and then I got the liquid cosh up my ass.
Explain liquid cosh.
Largactil. Basically,
is...
it's a drug they do. It just totally and utterly mongs you. It really does. It fries you, mate.
Forced you to take it, or did you have a say in it?
No, I was pinned down, bent up, and they just rammed the needle up my ass and bam, put it into me. With that, mate, you're just drooling constantly. You can't talk properly. You know, if you stand up, you're bouncing from wall to wall. You're all over the place, mate.
Just for the viewer's sake, I turned off the notification, so a phone call was. Sorry about that. Phone call was just coming through, so I don't know whether you've heard that bit. So just in case, because it could cut out when phone calls are going through. Because I take that all the way back. You're in Broadmoor, and you're talking about getting a medicine called
Largactil.
And how did you have any choice in taking that?
Absolutely none. As I said, I did this other prisoner, this patient, as they call them there. He just wouldn't leave me. He just talked constantly there. So I just got to, I just turned around and said, listen, you know, an argument ensued. He fronted up, so I cracked him. As soon as I'd cracked him, the staff were there, as I said, to come out of the walls and the floor there. But, you know, they really do, you know, far quicker then and in far bigger numbers than in prison.
Yeah.
In dispersals, believe it or not, in the CatAs, they really come for you there. Jumps on, pinned down, wrapped up in no time, and the needle stuck up my ass, and I was drugged with liquid cosh.
While she was being physically overpowered. And...
Yeah. By this time, I'd been physically overpowered.
Yeah, but there's nothing you could do about it.
Absolutely.
You didn't want to take it.
Absolutely nothing.
They did the same to Charlie Bronson.
They decide, mate. That's what they're going to. They were basically, I think they were, because I've been there a matter of a couple of days. You know, I'd just come out of the strip, so I'd been sent there in a body belt, gone up onto the house, as they call them there, with wings in prison, and within a couple of days, I'm in a fight. I think it was them saying, you know, basically, so look, we're boss, and this is what's happened if you fuck about here, you know. But I mean, for 10 days then, I was just totally, as I said, drooling at the mouth, slurring your words bad, don't know whether it's day or night, bouncing from wall to wall when you walk. It's terrible, mate, it's terrible. All I've been through in my life, without a shadow of doubt, the worst 10 days of my life, mate. Absolutely horrendous.
So after that, Bill,
the
medication, is it every time they give you the medicine that they have to force it on you, or does that capture you, the and then you're stuck, so that you're monged out anyway, so you've got no fight left in you? So do they initially,
unless you're no, they don't. Unless you're they give you that when you're a problem.
When you're unruly and when you're letting off.
That's what the liquid cosh is for.
Okay.
But I went there, unless you're a diagnosed schizophrenic, and which I wasn't.
Yeah.
They don't really medicate you. I mean, they were giving me Tegretol, you know, basically calm me down, keep me calm. But I was that monged out, I was just taking it anyway, you know. It was a terrible, terrible time. Terrible time. Yeah.
So yeah, you're on the induction ring. So
Yeah.
did you have any more kickoffs after that where they had to do it to you again during those 5.5 months there? Billy, what was the assessment period? Right? So they sent you to Broadmoor
Yeah.
to be assessed.
Yeah.
And how long was that assessment?
Well, initially the assessment was meant to be 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah, but I ended out there, you know, 5.5 months.
So what does it mean? Once you're being assessed, is that to see if they're going to keep hold of you there or send you back to a prison environment?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Explain a bit about assessment, what kind of questions and
you'll get assigned a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And a psychiatric nurse is like your personal officer, like they have in prison nowadays.
Right.
Okay, and they're constantly writing reports, and you're seeing the psychiatrist a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
For an hour. You know, basically they go right from, like you did yesterday, right from the beginning, right up to that point. What your problem was, you're offending, why this, why that, you know, this happened, that happened. Just, you know, asking you mundane questions over and over again. You know, it's like Groundhog Day with them, you know, honestly it is.
But, so that assessment, they're asking you, obviously, your prison behaviour.
Yeah.
And, you know, the kicking off with prison staff and all that.
Yeah.
Those are the reasons why you were sent to Broadmoor. So you're not actually, was you diagnosed with any kind of disorders or...
Yeah,
and then
I was,
illness.
They said I had a severe personality disorder. Basically, they were calling me a psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah, but not schizophrenia, not bipolar, not.
No, nothing like that. They said I suffer from paranoia, but I suppose what prisoner who's done a long sentence doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're still pretty young. You was pretty young at the time, Bill. So Billy, that force-fed medication. Who was around at that time? And
I remember an incident there. You go to the, you know, like you go to the canteen in prison.
Yeah.
Well, there it was like, you know, one of these 7-Eleven supermarkets that Sainsbury's and Tesco's have opened out. You know, the mini ones.
Proper good food.
Yeah, like that. You go into that
hospital food.
Yeah, but I'm on about the canteen when you go for your tobacco stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like a mini supermarket like that.
Wow.
And you get a basket. And the nurses walk around with you, and you did pick up stuff yourself, but you say, like, I want that.
Yeah.
And they get it down for you, put it in your basket, and then you got to the thing, they took the money out of your account.
So you could have money sent in, visits and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was there, and I'm looking at things, and I got this tap on my back. I turned round, and I looked at this geezer, and at first, you know, when it done right, I thought, I know you. And he goes, hello, I haven't seen you here before, have I? No. And then it clipped who it was. I went, yeah. I said, I know you are, you cunt. You can fuck off. And with that, he stepped back, and two of the biggest nurses you've ever seen in your life stepped in front of him and two behind him. Each one of them must have been 6'5" and as wide as they were tall.
Yeah.
It was Peter Sutcliffe. Yeah.
Peter Sutcliffe.
The Yorkshire Ripper.
The Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah.
Who committed...
13 murders.
13 murders.
Of women, prostitutes,
Yeah. True crime kind of history.
Yeah.
So you knew straight away who he was?
Yeah, I was just so shocked. And
but
so
he would have been older. When he would have been getting... Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he was older. There. Yeah. But I was totally shocked by it, you know.
So he was walking up and down on his own?
He was in the canteen as well, you know, getting stuff, But he was escorted by... There were massive nurses who just stepped in front and behind him. I mean, it took a tank to get through him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but do they watch out for all patients like that, or was it?
Yeah, they're all over. But I mean, I suppose especially him, what's happened to him, you know. Before he went in Parkhurst, he got stabbed. Nearly had lost one of his eyes, didn't he?
Against that geezer, Mr. K. Who was in for the Woolworth.
Ronnie Kray. Ronnie Kray was there, spoke to him a few times.
What about Sutcliffe? Let's take with Sutcliffe a little bit, Billy.
Okay.
But any other things to say about his behaviour? Did he talk?
Never spoke to him after that. He got it plain and sailing. I didn't want to talk to him.
Did he talk to anyone? Was he... To you, was he?
He was on a different house to me, but you'd see him walking about. And what I saw, some people saw, because you had a hell of a lot of wrong uns in there, Yami.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot of wrong uns in there. In fact, more wrong than right.
Yeah.
We were the minority in Broadmoor, without a doubt.
Yeah, because their crimes, they wouldn't. Some of them, I don't know all, but some of them use it as a trick and complete. Is it easy for somebody to play mentally ill, Billy, and to get there because they can't obviously stay in a prison environment because of their crimes? They're going to get a hard time. No, the front pages with their murders,
because you've got to consider, mate, how much it costs to keep somebody in Broadmoor a week as opposed to a prison cell.
So you say definitely Sutcliffe was mentally insane?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, to do what he did, he's got to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, but to you, there was, they put him in a prison environment first.
Well, you've got
environment for a while.
Unless you're certified insane before you got, and they were never going to do that because they wanted him to get his life sentences to make sure he never got out. But yeah.
So not much said about Peter Sutcliffe, but so then you're talking about Ronnie Kray.
Yeah, Ronnie Kray. Spoke to him a few times on the corridors of Broadmoor.
He went on your house.
No. Total chain smoker, mate. I mean, one after another. Really, I've never seen anybody smoke like it.
Yeah.
I like a cig, but fucking hell.
What else?
Always walked around in a perfect suit. You know, it was always suited and booted, immaculate. Yeah. But it was a nice guy. Was Ron?
Did you have conversations?
Yeah, I had conversations with him. Yeah, he was a
was he
friendly guy.
insane, or was he? You did come across?
Well, Ronnie by then, he was controlled by. I mean, weight had come off him drastically with all the medication over the years, and it was. It wasn't long after he died. Really, he died while I was there, if I remember right. Yeah.
So his stand-up, his interactions with other patients. Like Peter Sutcliffe, was there anyone that used to hang around with Ronnie Kray?
He had
was he playing the game like he was?
Yeah, he had a boy who always made him his tea and stuff like that. And He was quite the celebrity in there. Yeah.
Well, so Peter Sutcliffe, he's a different kind of celebrity on.
Totally different. Yeah.
Totally different. So Ronnie, how was he carrying himself proper? Would you say that he was? Or was he still aware, still had his faculties? And
he was aware, he had his faculties. Obviously, he was mentally ill. So really, if you took his medication away, he'd have been a very sick man.
Right.
But with his medication, he was all right.
So with your medication, so if you've got the personality disorder and you're having bouts, something, so you was taking, apart from the Largactil, which is, they've used that in prisons before.
At that time, they were giving me Tegretol and chlorpromazine.
To
calm me down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but in prison in the old days, that Largactil, when they could get away with it, when they used to wrap you up in the 70s and 80s and give you for men that were really out of control, that used to fight with them all the time. Those were the days. That was the drug that they used.
Yeah.
And a lot of prisoners and men never came back from that kind of medication. But
you continuously got given that, mate, and it fucked you up.
So you didn't really have
I mean I had it that once, mate, and it monged me for 10 days. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't. After I'd had it to the best I wouldn't know if they did or they didn't. I was that out of it.
Wow.
It was a terrible 10 days in my life.
So in on that induction wing, when you was on the Largactil, sorry.
Yeah.
The interacting is there. So the house block you was on.
Yeah.
Who do you remember from? The front pages. There's a couple of cannibals in there.
I mean, you had that Kenneth Erskine there, the Stockwell Strangler. He was there.
He's out, allegedly. Well, he is.
Really? He was there.
Nicholas Fanage, no?
Can't remember.
He was on your house block, Erskine.
No, different. I remember there was a guy, the light bulb man, who was on my house block. He basically just stood upright all day in the middle of the telly room and pretended he was a light bulb. So I was pretty mischievous.
Remember his name?
No. No. We all just used to call him the light bulb man.
That's
all he was doing because
I've seen that in hospital.
I used to go up and I used to pretend to turn him off. and he'd jump up and down, turn me back on, turn me back on. I'd leave him for about 10 minutes. I'd say, all right then, turn it back on. Fucking horrible, really. I shouldn't have done it. But yeah, just to kill a bit of time, you know. It was, but you know, the food was a lot better there.
Did you want to stay there after that?
No, mate, no.
It's easier time though, isn't it, Bill?
But
not really the way.
I mean, they used to bring in stuff like dog shows and things like that.
Dog shows, explain that?
Yeah, where they bring in, you know, these acrobatic dogs and shows, and so that they used to bring people in to do magic shows and all that. Yeah. You had all sorts going on.
Night, disco nights.
You had a disco night.
We've heard about some of those.
But they only had about 3 records. And they always wanted that Eye of the Tiger playing over it. So you basically go to the disco and you listen to an hour and a half of Eye of the Tiger.
No females there, Bill, sorry.
No, not at that point, no. They're gone.
Because we see stories that there was a lot of dancing going on disco nights. And
they used to be, but they got rid of the females in Broadmoor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was you getting your visits there?
Yeah.
Who was coming up there to see you?
My Magnus was coming down, every month. God love her. All the way from Leeds.
So if you had no money to spend, you wouldn't be able to get in the canteen, you wouldn't be able to.
No, well, the people who have been certified, and they were sent there under a section from the court.
So they get money.
They get their pancrack there. They get social security. Yeah.
So why could? So you was? Oh no, you
because I was a
you
prison transfer.
Yeah, you was a prison.
I was a prison transfer. Yeah. So you know what people sent me in. Yeah.
So what else, Bill? The 5 months, quite long in one place there.
Yeah, it was. You know, I've never been so happy to get out of a place in my life.
Anyone else, Bill, there as well? Any incidents we could talk about apart from the light bulb man?
As I said,
what about violence? Did we see anything horrendous?
Yeah, there was always something kicking off there.
Yeah.
There was always something. Saw somebody stabbed through the neck there.
Yeah.
Basically over nothing. Somebody just walks in and bang. I said, just spurting everywhere, mate.
Oh God.
Luckily, they managed to save him, but the guy got another life sentence, if I remember right, for it. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
So not many. So really and truly, but the violence. It's much like there's not nothing unusual there, but
there's
you can basically get it at any time.
For anything. I mean, it might be for nothing.
What about the cage? Sorry, Bill and viewers. What about they said about the separated cages from there's a man called Peter Bryan who's segregated. What do they mean by he's segregated on his own in Broadmoor away from everybody else? Where it's like being in the like Charlie Bronson. He stays alone because of the potential.
Or like Bob Mosley.
Like Rob Mosley. There's a few like that in Broadmoor that don't come up.
Yeah, they're like Hannibal. It's like a Hannibal Lecter. So like they had down at the hospital wing in Parkhurst. Because they had one there from Bob. But it was a dispersal, didn't they?
Yeah.
You had one down in Norfolk there. As I said, that was their seclusion. You had a cell like that down there. Yeah. And there was somebody in it who you didn't know because obviously, as I said, I was took there from the scrubs in a body belt, left in the body belt for 3 days, and then I was dragged back down there when I'd been largocked sold up when I'd.
So what about your
crack there,
Bill? What about poor old Agnes coming to visit you there? Like obviously that must have been very hard.
God love her, mate. All the way from Leeds all to Crawthorne, Berkshire, mate, to see me. Yeah, she did every month.
She used to get visibly upset then, really.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking for her. Who wants the boy in there?
I mean, you hear about the stories when you're young, like even when you go to prison early on, you think some people end up in those, because really those kind of mental institutions, it's like you're locked away. You're
forgotten.
You're completely forgotten.
They have total and utter control over you in there. It's horrendous, mate. Yeah. Won't wish it on my worst enemy.
No,
a bad place, mate. I've never been so happy to see the front gate of a prison in my life when I left there. Obviously,
So the assessment, Billy, who did you have to see? And you was obviously trying to get back to the prison environment.
5.5 months.
Did you have to act to get out of, or you just stayed yourself? Or
just stayed myself.
Just answer the questions.
Yeah, just answer the questions. And as obviously after a rocky start, how I arrived there, then a few days I fight with the other patient. Then I got my head down and just rid it out as quick as I could. You know.
So Bill, from everything I've seen in prison, I'm thinking that you would have had to be either a serious harm to yourself, or serious harm by way of violence to prison staff and every single person around you in a prison environment.
Yeah.
For them to throw you in Broadmoor, because Charlie Bronson ended up in there
and Rampton.
And Rampton, Billy. Yeah. So it had to be, because we know what happened with Charlie case in Charlie's the way it turned out. They made films of him going to the hospital and that.
Yeah.
So you would have had to have been really seriously dangerous, really.
Oh, I was totally. I was against the system.
So it was only for violence alone.
Yes.
Why you ended up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was totally against the system, as you know.
Yeah.
I really see it as an us and them thing.
Yeah.
You know, well, I did then.
You did then.
You know, I was a lot younger. You know, you don't balance things, do you, when you're younger? You know, it's just you see it one way and that's it, and you know, and plus when you've had bad things done to you.
Yeah.
And when, maliciousness, like as I said, spitting in my food, one pissed in my food, for fuck's sake. They'll show you your mail and take it away. I had one screw showed me my letter from my mum and ripped it up.
Where were these, in the CatAs, Bill?
No, that was down the block, before I went to Broadmoor. Yeah. Come, showed me the letter, ripped it up and threw it in the bin. Fucking horrible.
So you never done any self-harm to yourself?
Never.
Wow.
Never, no.
So the build-up to get back to the prison environment, you was dying to get out of there.
God, and
when the assessment took place or finished.
Well, luckily the psychiatrist said, that look, he's not mentally unstable to the degree that he warrants a place in a special hospital. He got me out of it. Yeah. Which makes it in future very hard for the prison authorities to do it again. Yeah, because you've got that behind you then, haven't you? Yeah.
So 5 months, that's a serious chapter of that life. Did that time, it comes off your prison sentence?
Oh, yeah, I was still serving, yeah.
Yeah, because there was a thing where they used to say that when you get your sentence, it must come off, because some men, even Nicholas Vinage and Erskine, they've both been, well, I know Erskine's been released.
Has he really?
Yeah, so you can get released from...
Oh, yes, you can, yeah. Yeah,
but for such serious cases as well, if they was in a prison environment, mind you, they wouldn't be in Broadmoor. In fact, if they weren't mentally ill.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look at somebody like Erskine and that, It was there his entire sentence.
Yeah,
really unstable person. Peter Sutcliffe, there 30 years plus.
He used to get his visits and all that, didn't he?
Yeah, Ronnie Kray.
Yeah.
There, 25 years or whatever,
Is that, did Ronnie he died there?
He died there in 95, when I was there.
While he was there?
Yeah.
How did that go, Bill? What was the talk? What was the...
really sad, mate. The few times I spoke to Ronnie, I liked him.
Yeah.
He was straight talking, He was, he was a nice guy. I like the guy.
But when he was dying, so like you was actually there, but you didn't see him every day.
No, they took him to outside hospital.
Yeah.
And he had a massive heart attack and died the next day. Yeah.
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 So that travel, was that, you heard that straight away?
Oh, well, it went around the entire country, like the speed of a bullet, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm trying to think who died first, Reggie or Ron.
Ron.
Ron died first. And
then Charlie.
Did Reggie get to
Ron, then Charlie, then Reg.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Reg was the last.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right. So Bill, coming out then, you've got nothing really, anything else to stand out from Broadmoor.
Well,
before we move
no.
No. All right. Good. Well done for talking about it, Bill.
No problem, mate.
Anytime. It would have broken my heart, really, to be honest. Because it's kind of the end of the road to where you think,
Oh God, it is. Yeah, you really got to work to get out of it.
So you got back out of it.
Yeah.
Gone back to prison.
Yes.
Where did you go to from Broadmoor?
From Broadmoor, they sent me a full Sutton. Back to full Sutton
again.
Yeah.
The place where they sent you from.
No, they sent me from Scrubs.
Scrubs. Oh yeah, you went from Scrubs.
They sent me up to full Sutton.
Oh yeah. That's right, Bill. Oh yeah, Bill. So sorry, then we'll leave.
Driven straight into the block.
Right. So we'll leave the Broadmoor thing. Well done, Billy. Yesterday, comments coming through about your part 1. Any stories more on your old mate Frank Burley?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Rest in
I'll
peace,
tell
my
you
boy.
about there was a pub.
Mm.
It's knocked down now. It's part of a car park of
Yeah.
Marks and Spencer's supermarket at
Yeah.
Moortown. He's gone to the pub there one night, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doorman won't let him in.
Yeah.
Frank's took it to heart, so he's gone home, gone back and shot the doorman in the leg.
Did they nick for it?
Yeah, no,
No.
but he shot him in the leg over it, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
well-known fight, yeah.
Frank,
But that was Frank, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Serious man,
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah, well, you know.
When you meet him in person, though, he's not really.
He's a fun guy,
It's
Frank.
just-
A fun, easygoing guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, something like that, you know, where I'd say, oh, fucking hell, it don't matter, Frank, you know.
Yeah.
But Frank took stuff like that to heart, you know what I mean? Where I'd go, you know,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck, Frank? You know, he wouldn't. Yeah, that was Frank, yeah.
Well, so Bill, other comments coming in about the Terry Mitchell fight.
Yeah. Paul Sykes, yeah.
And Paul Sykes.
Well, look,
There's always going to be debates.
Look,
about
mate,
it.
you know,
you
everybody's
had something you wanted to say.
Everybody's going to have their opinion of who would win, who this, that, and the other. But it's a fact that, you know, there was Tess there and Terry. I mean, Terry was morally right because Sykes took a liberty
By
in his dad, you know, who was an old man, and for fuck all, really. You know, as I said yesterday, I want a mate of Sykesy.
No.
I knew him.
Yeah.
He knew me. We knew each other to say hello and have a talk, but we weren't pals. But that is what really happened in the fight because another good man, who, God bless him, as I said, no longer here, Alan Dwyer, who spoke straight, was there. He saw it.
Right.
And he told me all about it.
Right.
And I actually spoke to Sykesy. I asked Sykesy about it.
Yeah.
At a separate time.
Yeah.
So he didn't know I knew all the ins and outs. And Sykesy told me the exact same story that Alan Dwyer told me. So it was right.
Right.
That's how it happened. Who do I think would have won? As I said yesterday, I first said Sykes, then I went, I don't.
But it's a lot for him to hit his own dad.
Yeah, of course it is. But I mean, who would have won, Sykesy and Mitchell? As I said yesterday in the end, who hit who first? That's who would have won. Who got that first decisive bang in?
Yeah.
If Mitchell got it in, then you got advantage Mitchell. If Sykesy got it in, advantage Sykesy.
But
I would say,
you said it.
the longer the fight went on, with Sykesy being a pro boxer and being able, he'd have kept him at bay. I'd have given the advantage more to Sykesy the longer it went on.
All right. Bill, what I was going to say about the end of Sykes's, because obviously you're from that neck of the woods, or you're.
Well, I'm from Leeds, but he was from Wakefield. But yeah, it's only 10 miles up the road.
But the ending of his life.
Bad. He ended up living on the streets. At one point there was a big thing of him. You know, some people, young people, whether teenagers, early 20s, whatever, but they set him on fire while he was asleep, mate.
I've heard.
You know, they set him up. That really happened. They set him on fire. He was getting, really bad beatings of young men when he was an old man, and he was fucked with alcohol and everything. It was wrong, really, Had Sykesy done bad things in his life, without a shadow of a doubt. But I mean, to set him on fire, he didn't deserve that.
We've got bad past, otherwise we wouldn't have been ex-criminals.
I mean, he didn't deserve that.
I know.
I felt sorry for him, really.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people.
I mean, I remember the last time I saw Paul, and I'm not saying anything wrong, but the last time I saw him, I said, "Here," and I bunged him 20 quid to get something to me, because he had a big, massive beard. He was in such a mess, mate. I felt so sorry for him. He looked what he was, living rough,
He hated him so. But I would have thought he'd have had someone. He would have had people around him, though. He's got a son, he's got family. I imagine there would have been.
He had a few sons, but I mean, he's got 2 sons that are serving life sentences now.
Yeah, I've heard.
That's
recent times.
Sad legacy, really. That he's left behind. He's got 2 sons that are serving life. It's not good, is it? It's quite sad, really.
It's surprising, really. You would have thought, when you're self-destructive, Billy, which you know, right, through different periods of our lives with addiction, drink, whatever it may be, but he would have been succumbing to that life and hating himself for whatever he definitely did to end up like that. But where was, you'd always think you would have thought somebody would have been able to grab hold of you, or was it he was past that stage of,
well, I remember,
of dying, you know,
and I remember,
maybe he didn't want to live.
I got told one story about him from a pal of mine. And he was only a young, my mate at the time, about 16, 17, and Paul had got hold of some acid tabs.
Yeah.
So he's gone to buy some off Paul.
Yeah.
So Paul's giving one, and he says, right, sit down there. He says, you've been daft enough to buy it, now you can take it. And he made him take it. He just wanted to sit down and see what happened to him, an experiment. My mate, Jeannie, turned round to his missus when Paul wasn't looking at him, get me out of here. You know, and his missus had to get him out, you know. So Paul, he was a fucking oddball at times as well. But how he ended up getting set on fire, I did feel for him. You know, that's it's no way to end, is it? No. Do you know what I mean?
No. Bill, there's a lot of men from that life who were alleged massive names. You know, for fighting, for, you know, being a so-called gangster with money and that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of sad stories.
There is,
at the end.
More sad. I think what it is, I mean, they end sad if they stay in that life, you know, because you know yourself, mate, and all your viewers there's no happy ending in that life, mate.
It's like you suffer from guilt, because you work out things as you get older.
I mean, I suffer a lot from guilt now.
I do as well.
You know, I mean, what I put my mother through, you know, dragging her from prison to prison and all that, and into her old age, mate, you know, and I think, fuck, you know, because she didn't deserve that. You know, no. She really didn't deserve that.
See,
I'm ashamed of it now, you know.
I can resonate with that, Bill.
You know, I'd love to, you know, have half hour, you know, to come back and have half hour with her, just to tell her what she meant to me, you know, and how sorry I am.
And we didn't know it.
Just to tell her how sorry I am, you know.
I can resonate with that. You don't realise you're putting people through stuff.
No, you don't. No. You don't. When you're in that
self-obsessed. With
you are. It's a very selfish.
It's a
very selfish life.
Yeah, because you think you got no one anyway, but you remember the factors and the features of your life. A bit like mine, in some ways, like your parents. It's always going to be dysfunctional and disjointed, where you feel good surrogate, good mother. Really, she's your mum, Agnes. To be honest.
She is. Brought me up from 6-week-old, mate. Yeah.
Everybody needed angels. I noticed with my bad stuff, there was 3 or 4 where I got rescued from. They all seem to be females as well, people's mums, and those are the bits I think define you in the end. As you get older, you had those little bits of love that, you know, others maybe didn't.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Proper psychopaths,
for sure.
Proper things and that with no.
Yeah, but it's like the saying.
The age times as well, when you're younger, matter as well.
Oh, massive.
When certain things happen,
them young nurturing years.
Yeah, the nurturing
they have a massive impact on the rest of your life and how you're going to end up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, it's like the saying, you know, you was on about the 4 women in your, you know, always, you know, it's like the saying, you know, you can have 1,000 fathers, but you only have one mother. And you know, greatest things in the world are mothers, mate. You know, they are. You never have a friend like it.
Yeah, Bill.
You know, somebody who, no matter what, is 100% got your back. Yeah. You know.
All right. So before we finish off, Bill, we went through some other things last night. Did we have some more? I'm trying to think. We were talking about some more stories, and I've got a terrible.
I know. I can't remember that. We consulted. Maybe we have to do that.
Mine's just 39 minutes. That's enough, Bill.
Okay. Right, so we'll maybe
we'll
talk again another time.
Right. So I'm going to hold back this video. I'm going to make my way back down south now, and sending special love to you as always. And I'll be back up soon.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Billy, for sharing.
Thank you for having me on.
Any shout outs for anyone else, Bill?
You know,
any shout outs for anyone?
Yeah, me mucker Bill Foley, you know.
Bill Foley.
Lovely fella.
You turn it.
Like I say, a lot of Bill and Carl Sturk and Sean Nico. Good pals of mine. Another one, my mate Joe McLean. Big up, Joe.
Right.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Sending special love to you all. I'm just going to go and ring Uncle Phil Curry. I swear he was ringing just now. So special love to you all. I've got a long travel on now.